No, I'm saying
I want a divorce Teddy.
You know what I'm saying? Like the audio mark is usually perfectly synced.
Yeah, is it?
It should work just fine.
Is it?
Yes, brother. Now, Christopher is a little cranky for having traveled untold miles.
We don't need to talk about that.
We're not going to talk about
We don't
that.
need to talk about that.
But he's a little tired, which is fine.
I'm cranky.
Yes,
I'm cranky.
he's
I
a
haven't
little
had my nap.
He didn't have it.
So
You want to introduce this one?
no, I don't want to talk, man. I came on my podcast to not talk.
Christopher.
I'm just gonna sit here with my arms crossed for an hour.
That's what he wanted to do. So Christopher pitched the idea of sort of.
Don't call me Christopher. Don't appease my
Christopher.
Don't appease my tyrannical mother.
All right, C-man.
No,
C-man.
no, don't do that either.
C-man right here.
Really? You know what you're doing.
Oh yeah, you're good. All right, Chris here came up with a good idea. He pitched a good idea of mixing up our
I mean mainly because the news is kind of fucking stagnant right now. Yeah. It's the same shit. It's trans this and Bud Light that. It's kind of
Garlock this.
Shut up.
Garlock that.
Yeah, you know what?
The woman in my dreams. Right?
Yeah, your wife's right out there, brother.
She doesn't mind.
I think she would.
If
she's pregnant with your son.
Listen to me. If there was some kind of swinging action, Garlock is
you
top.
You definitely would not.
Garlock is top.
That would be your last choice.
You don't find the
the
obnoxious arrogance almost appealing.
No, dude. I already told you.
Garlock
like
says,
I don't find for me personally, I don't find confidence like an attractive quality.
You don't find confidence. Yeah. So
anyways,
the 16th century cold.
This is we're talking. This one's called. It's gonna be called Barely Late at Night. Where we're gonna discuss conspiracy theories, cults, cryptozoology, stuff that we find like interesting,
quirky stuff out there.
Yeah, quirky, weird, scary.
Yeah,
we might even get into some creepypasta stuff, like Slender Man.
Did you say pasta?
Creepypasta. It's internet lingo from way back in the day.
Oh, okay.
It's from copy. It went from.
This is gonna be interesting.
It was from copy pasta, which is copy paste.
Yeah. Oh.
And then they were copy pasting creepy stuff. Then it became creepy pasta. So yeah.
Everybody, get your lingo down.
Yeah. Getting that out of the way now, so I don't have to explain that again in a later episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty interesting. I've always been wanting to talk about that, and this is funny because when we came up with the idea for this topic for the day, we did not know about the crap that was going on in Congress about this, like the hearings that were going on.
Mm-hmm. I had some idea, but
you did? Well, I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't. I had no idea. I saw the hearings after we came up with this idea.
Yeah,
and it's Roswell, aliens and UFOs and stuff.
Cue the sound bite from.
We need a theremin.
Oh my god, you're gonna do that?
Oh, no, I can't do it. My voice is gonna crack. We need a theremin
to make that happen. Yeah, I think I think I can clip it from somewhere.
But we thought that'd be interesting. And I did some research and can't find my notebook, but I have my little scratch pad from one documentary I listened to. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was pretty interesting stuff. A lot of stuff I didn't even know.
Yeah. We'll get into it, but generally the idea of this, like you said, is to just have cool things that have happened out there, put them together. So it will differ from our regular format.
Yeah,
this will be a little fact forward, I would say.
Yeah, so this is kind of
in the way of research, right?
This is kind of like a future kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like our ultimate goal is like we want to eventually be able to do this roughly around 5 times a week, right? That's our goal.
Yeah,
is to be able to do it 5 days a week.
It's an ambitious goal, but it
is.
Yeah,
but like once if things start kicking off, that's like our goal. We want to do it 5 days a week, and we were thinking like doing a different thing every day of the week, like Movie Mondays, where we review movies, old movies, new movies, and give our takes on them.
And then there's one format that I'm super excited about, where the video game.
Yeah. Well, I thought you were talking about the cooking one.
The cooking one is obviously going to be super fun, but the thing that I'm super excited about is because your world of gaming is for the most part, alien to me.
Well, and what it is gonna be is it's Teddy's gonna play the game, and I'm gonna laugh at him for being so bad.
I thought you were gonna play, and I was gonna ask dumb questions.
I mean, we can do that too,
Like,
but
what does the shell do?
you know what the fucking shell does, Teddy.
I swear
know
to God, I don't.
But
Here's the
yeah.
extent of my gaming experience.
Yeah,
I used to play Hitman when I was a kid.
You used to play on your bootleg console.
Yes.
From where was it?
So
Germany or-
the stuff that he's making fun of me right now for is a fake console that my dad got me. It was one of my favorite childhood memories. You piece of shit.
it's his bootleg console. He thought it was a legitimate piece of hardware.
Nah, it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
And in it's good hands right now. It's someone that I like. I give it to. Anyways, the point is, because that world was purely alien to me.
Yeah.
Foreshadow.
Oh yeah. See what he did there, folks.
It would be interesting to see like my almost credulity be seen from your world of like encyclopedic knowledge of stupid fast fucking games.
How you just get fucking schooled.
Yeah. I bought Red Dead Redemption on was it your recommendation?
No, it wasn't mine.
I played it for a total of 3
I think
hours
it
and
was.
I was like, I'm
I think
done.
it was James and Nolan's
Yeah, it could be.
recommendation because they liked it more than I did. I'm kind of soured on open world games right now. Just like I'm like, this is too much to fucking do. I need some guidance.
Alrighty. Well, to get back to our topic today, do you want to? How do you want to do it? Do you want to give a timeline of the whole event first, or do you want to? How do you want to do this?
The earliest thing I can see where anything happened was 1947, and that was like the crash of the quote unquote weather balloon, which we don't know. Like, there's a lot of metallic pieces. I don't know what goes into making a weather balloon, so I didn't even look that up afterwards.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't know how much like
Fair
metallic like stuff you could salvage from a wreckage.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and also, how much of that could potentially be confused for alien technology?
Or
like things that would look like yeah.
So I'm like, one thing that I'm gonna just put out there is that I can't disprove that there's life on other planets. Like it's just to think we're the only planet out there that can sustain life outside. I mean, maybe outside our galaxy there's something. Maybe there's another galaxy like ours somewhere. But I just think that's improbable.
Yeah.
That we are the only planet.
Well, we know for sure there are planets within the Goldilocks zone from their central star.
Yeah, that can.
From their star in their own solar system, or from their from the center of the galaxy that could potentially support life.
But to caveat this is that if there was a civilization that was so technologically advanced, I don't think they'd crash.
You don't think they'd crash?
Yeah, I don't think they'd crash.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they could traverse the cosmos.
Yeah. If they've already mastered conversing, they've already solved for every possible bullshit that would make them crash.
Correct.
So
although
and all this stuff, they seem to be crashing a lot with all these things. I was like, are they like drunk space driving? Like, what are we doing here, man?
Oh, I think. So you're already pushing with an argument for or against it, which I understand, but I think we need to give like a 6-point synopsis for the timeline.
Yeah. Okay, and this isn't to say like that I don't think like it might have been possible for people to visit our planet. I just don't think they'd crash, right? So like the
black people, dude.
Yeah, like black people.
Yeah.
Well. Like those lines, that giant bird that can be seen from planes, that's like etched out perfectly.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like, how the fuck did they do that?
There are some theories about that.
I mean, it's just like it's stuff like that.
Yeah, the pyramids, dude.
Well, the pyramids too. It's like, how did modern man do it? Not modern man, but ancient man do it. But yeah, those lines more so than the pyramids baffle me, right? Because the scope that it's so geometrically perfect.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Because you can see it. It's small from a plane, but just based on the scope that it's huge.
It would take some understanding of geolocations to be able to make that symmetry happen.
Exactly.
Correct. Yeah.
So it's just like that right there. That alone, that makes me like, something's up there.
Maybe aliens.
Maybe because
maybe white people.
Like maybe white people.
Yeah.
No, like, but I mean, really though, like you'd have to be able to see that from.
Yeah.
Nah, Jeff, you skewed a little bit. Fix it.
All right, so we don't want to delve out of this. We don't want to go on a tangent, but there are some theories as to how that could have happened, including the pyramids. But also, dude, speaking of tangents, I just noticed the doorknobs look like balls, dude. The shadow.
Yeah. They're aliens. God, dude. We'll take a picture of it.
I just noticed that. Yeah.
Take a picture and send it to me.
Yeah,
and I'll post it
the
on
balls
Twitter.
that's distracted Teddy.
Yeah.
You got to do that. All right, so if you would allow me, though, let me give a timeline of what happened so we can just, before we delve into it, so people have an idea of what we're talking about, right? Yeah. Is that okay?
No.
Okay. So that's Chris's language of saying yes. So we're talking about, like you said, July 2nd, 1947. That is the earliest report. One Mac Brazel.
He's the farmer, right?
He's the farmer. Yeah. He hears a loud bang, and he's like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah, and he goes out there.
Give me a redneck.
Oh God, man!
It's Nevada, so it's not redneck.
I don't even know.
Give me a. What kind of accent do they have?
I don't know.
Come on,
I've never been to Nevada.
But you've been to a gambling place, right? What do they sound like?
Hey, brother. I don't fucking know, dude.
Give me 1 on 13.
Let me 1 on 13, brother. Give me one of those.
Exactly. So that Mark Brazel, he walks out. It's northwest of Roswell is where this happened. He owns a ranch. He says he heard something.
Yeah. Right? He goes, what the fuck is that?
Exactly. Thank you for the play-by-play. And then obviously he calls his sheriff, as I believe the story goes. We don't want to get bogged down by the details, but what happens is he notifies authorities like something happened. Yeah. All right. Yeah. The sheriff calls the Army airfield. So they come out. That's the USAF, which is the U.S. Air Force. And they come out on July 8th, 1947. Now, the reason, and we're gonna get into it, this picked up pace again in terms of a conspiracy in the 70s. Was because of this incident, which is just a mere 6 days.
Yeah, this is. I think this is the more. Yeah. Well, this is the more known incident.
Correct. But the reason why there's some flesh on the bone of this conspiracy is because the very first statement that the USAF made is claiming that they have recovered a flying disc. Yeah. But the next day they retract it. Yeah. And the retraction comes officially from them, and they're like, "Oh no, that was not what happened."
I do want to mention something here.
Correct.
Is that I don't know if you know this, like Hitler. In the Nazi regime, he was very superstitious, and he was like looking into a lot of like supernatural stuff. Apparently,
I think I've heard something like that. Yeah.
And there were schematics, I think, for a flying type disc that he.
Yes,
had.
I've seen those schematics as well. Yeah. Yes, so it is an interesting point you raise. Actually, now there is only one pushback that I would make against that, which is the claim that this might have been. Like an adversary, because we're talking about like around the time of World War II, we're towards the end of World War II is what we're looking at. So, but they retracted, and that happens 24 hours. Now, notice the wise amongst you listeners have noticed 6 days after the incidents, they have had 6 days, to come up with a report. They say it was a flying disc, which is unequivocal. You're not mincing your words when you say it's a flying disc. Yeah. You're saying it's a flying thing, and you're saying it's a disc.
It's disc shaped.
Yeah. And then the next day they retracted, and then the thing dies out, right?
Yeah.
Case closed. Everybody moved on. Late 1970s, UFO researchers again start talking about this issue, and then eyewitness testimonies start coming forward.
Oh yeah, so
many. There is 2 that I found interesting, and we'll get to those. I'm sure you have some notes on that as well. Just 2 more points, and I should be done with the timeline. Yeah, and then 1994, the U.S. Air Force releases a report known as the Roswell Report, case closed. Okay, so that was because the thing just picked up again. It's in the zeitgeist now. They wanna tamp this down. They're like, oh, and here is another red flag for me. What happened was, it was a top secret project.
Yeah.
Right.
Top secret.
But we had anthropomorphic dummies on the thing. So this is attempting to. This is coming from them, right? This is not something anthropomorphic. So anthropomorphic is, you'd understand. This is like the things that we use for crash tests. So we have G-force detecting things on them, and that's how we detect crash tests for safety testing. So they're like, oh, there were dummies on there. So this is an attempt to respond to the claims of recovery of bodies. Yeah. And the last point is, so that's what happened, right? So that's where we're at. Yeah. So these are the 4 timelines.
So I want to add something else. So like back in I found this out. This goes into the timeline.
Yeah.
So in the 90s, heard about Area 51 all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when we officially they declassified Area 51, 2013.
Okay, I'm not sure, but I didn't know that. But okay.
Yeah. That was when it was officially declassified, and the United States government acknowledged Area 51.
There is a top military research facility. Okay.
And another thing is like during, I don't know, do you know what Operation Paperclip is?
Yes.
Yeah, they were pulling German scientists from Germany to the U.S.
Oppenheimer.
But a bunch of them were pulled to Roswell, New Mexico.
This is a pitch for Oppenheimer,
which is
great movie. Everybody go check it out.
Which makes me less skeptical of the disc thing, because
which makes you think if there was top military research there, then it follows that.
The German that might have been a thing. Because another thing is a lot of things. Do you know what the U-2 is?
Yes.
Yeah, the experimental.
Yeah. Wasn't it a tank?
No, it was a plane.
The plane?
Yeah, it's called the U-2.
Is it the one on Aviator?
Named after the band U-2.
Okay. But is it on Aviator? I think Leonardo DiCaprio's movie Aviator. I think
Flight of the Navigator.
No, it's just Aviator. I think it's the movie.
I don't know.
Could be. Okay, so U2, you think? So that could also be.
That could be possible. Could be possible that was one of the things that crashed. And man, you know who Bob Lazar is, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Bob Lazar, he comes out and he said that he worked with alien technology. He said he was on Area 51, which can be corroborated by other people that he was on Area 51. But he also said he worked at a secret base south of Area 51 called S4 in 1989. A lot of the people who corroborated that Bob Lazar was there said they've heard of S4. But I don't think we've officially that's been declassified or anything, so I don't know if we can really say for sure if S4 existed, because I couldn't find anything on it officially being released. But Bob Lazar said he worked at Los Alamos, which was another research facility, and when he originally came out on that, he did that kind of they did that silhouette, kind of like.
The reveal.
When he, whistleblowing type thing.
I remember that.
The guy who interviewed him went around and asked, or was trying to find out if he was legit. So he went and he called Los Alamos, because he's like, well, if he did work at Los Alamos, then that means he has the actual knowledge to actually work on this stuff. And he called there, and they're like, oh, we have no record of Bob Lazar here. And then he called back again, and he's like, well, he's in your phone book. And then they're like,
I remember.
And then he's like, okay, he worked here.
Who was the gentleman that did that research? He was on Joe Rogan.
Hang on. I don't have his name written down.
Yeah, but we'll find out.
George.
C something. It starts with a C.
It's a K. Because of the
sure?
K. Yeah. It's
I think Kemp.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the original one. But there's a gentleman who's now following up on that story.
Oh, yeah.
He's multiple times on Joe Rogan. In fact, he actually joined Bob Lazar for that episode. Joe famously had was
Bob Lazar's claim is that he reverse engineered alien technology.
He now he is a special figure in the whole alien saga, that he's the one who's had the most consistent stories.
Yeah.
He's not changed any of his details, which gives him some credibility.
The other thing that gives credit to his claim is that other people corroborated that he was there. Like there's a test pilot named David Finehoff. Or Finehoff. Yeah, Finehoff. He was a test pilot on Area 51. and he corroborated seeing Bob Lazar there
Mhm.
several times,
Mhm.
and he had heard of S4, but he doesn't know if Bob Lazar worked at S4
Got
because
it.
he couldn't corroborate that.
Yeah.
But because he had never been himself, but he said he saw Bob Lazar at Area 51.
People can go and find out more about Bob Lazar. Now, the only reason we're talking about Bob Lazar is because just to give you an idea that there are people with some sense of credibility
Yeah.
who've talked about working on alien vehicles, right?
Yeah.
Even Bob Lazar claims to have seen potentially biologics that
Yeah.
he thinks are alien. Now, I've got my skepticism towards what he's talking about,
Yeah,
especially
well,
the
you
element
should.
115 claim, which is anybody can claim an atomic number on the periodic table
Yeah.
and say that element is out there. Like it's
Yeah.
because it's going to be discovered. It's just an indexed thing.
Yeah.
For example, if 126 doesn't exist right now, I can say element 126. At
Dude.
one point in the future, 126 is going to be discovered.
Dude, element 201, dude.
Here you go. Hey, Chris called it first.
Yeah.
The point is, so that kind of, because most people have said, oh, the thing was not something known to chemistry by then, but
Yeah.
now we know it exists. Yeah,
Yeah.
that happens all the time in chemistry.
Yeah, new elements. Yeah, new elements.
Gets
are discovered,
isolated,
yeah.
okay, so in its elemental form. So that doesn't give him the credit. The other thing is his claim of his education background
Yeah.
has not been fully corroborated. That's a
No,
big issue.
but if he worked at Los Alamos,
Yeah,
which it seems like he did,
that your data
Yeah.
would be scraped.
Then it seems like he does have some education in
Mhm.
some kind of field like that. And also, if he's corroborated on being on Area 51,
Yeah.
he'd have to have some kind of knowledge because he wasn't a soldier.
No.
So,
No.
like, was he the Bob Lazar the janitor?
What? I mean, he could be.
I mean, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe.
Just because the name was a big deal,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that.
I mean, maybe, but
Yeah.
it's just like.
And don't knock on janitors, dude. What the fuck?
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just
Okay, I'm kidding.
not knocking
I'm trying to
janitors.
shame you, dude.
Don't shame me, man.
Now, I'm glad you brought him up, but it should not detract from what we wanted to talk about Roswell, okay?
Yeah.
There are things that are like,
Well, Roswell, Area 51 is right next to Roswell.
yeah, I mean, the reason we're
Yeah.
talking about these, and it's significant in terms of potentially someone claiming that they have worked on an alien technology, right?
Yeah.
That is significant. But the Roswell incident itself,
Yeah.
and it goes back to the thing the thing you said, which is imagine an alien civilization that is
Yeah.
so advanced to have traversed the cosmos and speed of light potentially,
and
maybe mastered the art of wormhole travel
yeah, maybe.
to come here and die
And crash.
and crash
Yeah.
and die. Okay, because
Yeah.
there is one more twist to the story, which is amongst the eyewitnesses,
Mm-hmm.
there's two that claim to have either have an interaction with someone directly dealt with the bodies
Yeah.
that they recovered out of the wreckage,
Yeah.
or have seen it directly.
Yeah.
And one of them is a mortician. I'll look up his name. His story, and I'll get to what his people that have pushed back against his story say, because he seemed to have a keen interest in embellishing his story.
Yeah.
What he said is, on that night, someone calls him from some facility,
Yeah.
which is under the USAF, and a nurse who sounded distraught calls him and says, we need, I'll forget the number, but hermetically sealed child-sized coffins.
Mm.
And he,
I didn't know about this.
yeah. So he's like, oh, she sounded strange. She's
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's what. And it's like, what do you mean, like child size? And it's like, and then so he gets the opportunity to talk to that nurse after the fact. He says, and she tells him, our current understanding of that alien face, that is stereotypical face that we have. You know the movie
The
Paul?
Gray Man. The Gray Man.
The gray man with the big eyes, the bug
Yeah,
eyes, and
yeah.
the fucking head, no ear, no ear.
the pupilless eyes and the.
Yes.
Yeah.
From the movie Paul, essentially.
Yeah.
That thing.
Yeah.
Tiny, no visible,
Yeah,
discernible
the-
genitalia, but
the-
they have a humanoid appearance,
Yeah.
ginormous heads.
Yeah.
She described that thing to him.
Yeah.
And I believe that's where that whole thing comes from,
Yeah.
right? So that's one of the people.
Yeah.
There is two people that sound slightly more credible to me. There was a general, colonel
Mhm.
on the base that claims to have seen the bodies directly, and his son who later corroborates his dad's story, saying that my dad did see those things.
Right.
Being
I mean, like I don't know if I would believe that. I don't know how you could corroborate that story. Because he wasn't there, right?
Yeah. So I must say, for me, first of all, I like empirical data. I like the scientific method, and the approach of in scientific approach, eyewitness account is the lowest.
Yeah, I know.
Credible.
I don't.
People see.
I don't discredit it entirely, but it's not the most substantial thing. It's because, like, for one, in your panic, you might see something differently than when you look at it from a calm mind.
Yeah. But regarding this Roswell thing, several people have come out. So the mortician that I was describing, his name is Glenn Dennis.
Yeah.
And his claim is that he was asked by the military, and the nurse was from the military, to provide child-sized coffins, and heard that accounts from the nurses about alien bodies at the Roswell Army airfield. There is a Frank Kaufman. He claimed to have seen a crashed UFO while working as a firefighter at the Roswell base.
Yeah.
There's Walter Hott, I think. Walter. Let's go with Walter.
Yeah.
He wrote a press release stating that the military had recovered a flying disc before being ordered to retract his story.
Yeah.
There is Major Jesse Marcel Jr., son of Jesse Marcel. He is the son of the intelligence officer that I was telling you about, who claims that his father showed him unusual debris from the crash site, supporting the idea that there was an alien spacecraft. So these are the people that claim to have. So when I told you in 1970s, the whole thing kind of came to life again, is because of these 5 or 6 people, which is entirely based on an eyewitness account.
Yes.
What, like 22 dozen years after the fact?
Yeah. Which is weird. It's sus.
Yeah.
Because, no one thought about it up until that point, really, right?
Yeah.
It was kind of dismissed after the incident in 1947.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the other thing that kind of red flags me is like the meetings that are going on now, right? And that the fact that didn't the government open up a branch for this?
Pentagon has now a full-fledged, fully funded branch.
Space Force.
That's another thing. That is dedicated to studying. They don't call them UFOs. They call them unidentified aerial phenomena, UAFs. I think that is what they call them. Yeah,
which is just another word for UFO.
Exactly. I mean,
it's the same thing, just use a different word.
Yeah, it's interesting to me. Like, the best evidence that we have currently is, the sighting by the current Air Force fighter jet fighters. The fighter jet.
It's like some of like the ones that they I've seen videos of people that have captured things that are flying by, which that would make more sense than them crashing, right?
Correct.
Because
they're describing something that they don't think any human civilization currently has capacity for, which is ability to. They don't see. First of all, they report no sign of method of propulsion, like an exhaust or anything.
No exhaust.
Ability to accelerate from 0 to Mach 7, like kind of crazy,
like that,
to come to a stop, because no human being or creature they know can stand that kind of G-force.
We won't be able to handle that kind of G-force. Yeah. You would, like, if you stop, like, by after going that fast,
you're going
die.
to get.
You would.
It's like stopping at a distance, which is funny because you know how superheroes kind of grab someone from when there's something falling underneath.
Yeah.
If Superman come and snatched you out of a falling building,
you would
at that speed. No, you're gonna. Have you ever squished a bug? It's like splat on your screen, like on your windshield on your car. It's like that.
Yeah,
it's like getting hit. So coming to a stop at that distance,
you would like The Boys.
The what?
The Boys.
The Boys. Oh, you telling me about that?
Yeah, you would like that show then.
Yeah. Okay, sure. All right. So here comes the pitch. I'll put that in the record.
Yeah.
So it would be like that. So for them to be able to do that, if it were happening, would be particularly interesting. Another caveat that I want to mention here: Bob Lazar's description of that anti-gravity section of the whole thing that he worked on appears to match the description of the most recent sightings.
Okay.
Which is interesting because he was saying it appears the thing has within the spaceship.
Yeah.
It appears to create an environment which is not directly concurrent to what is happening outside.
Yeah.
So it's not being affected by the motion, right? So kind of
Gotcha.
thing. It's either counteracting it or it's doing something, right?
Yeah.
Which seems to go with these things. Another odd thing is most of the sightings that we're currently seeing with the pilots noting that they're seeing this craft many more times often than they used to comes right after most of our military jets have been upgraded to a new technology, their radar
where
technology.
they reach higher altitudes. And
that plus it can detect certain objects. What used to be things that seem to evade radar now tend to be picked up. So they're saying this is happening now. So
technology is advanced.
Yes.
We can pick up. Yeah, that's cool.
And most of them don't appear to have let's say a slightly blurry background like Lazar.
Yeah.
These are pilots that we know went through the system, had no mental health issue or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing suspicious about their past. So it's interesting.
Yeah,
it's pretty.
Another thing is like a lot of because apparently after the Roswell incident, right, we had a pretty massive leap in technology, advances and stuff. Like fiber optics,
super cheap. That's the fiber optic thing is one of the things that people mention.
Yeah, that's like a big thing. They're like, all of a sudden we have fiber optics. And
but the basic mechanics of information transport, being able to send and receive data, we know is better in light, photons.
Yeah.
So I think we understood that way before fiber optics was a thing. I'm sure if someone took inventory of the evolution of our science, I'm sure someone could make accountings for it. Yeah. But that explosion of the information age kind of sus.
Because it was kind of like technological was kind of
we had
like
Bluetooth for sure.
Yes. It was a big spike.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been spiking ever since. We've kind of teetered off.
Right now we're plateaued again.
Yeah, we plateaued again.
Yeah.
Everything is just a slightly better phone than you had before. Yep. Slightly better TV. Yeah. A slightly faster computer.
If the iPhone is not a testament to our plateau,
we're like on a slight incline.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. It's like there's massive spikes, and not just that. There's been pretty big spikes like this throughout our history, right?
Correct.
Like we were plateauing until the Renaissance, and then there's huge new technologies in medicine and just engineering, art, all kinds of
medicine
stuff.
Has a splotchy origin with the Nazis.
I mean, come on, they used to think that you could lead people to cure them of their sickness.
That's 100% true. But I'm saying that spike in our medical awareness actually is concurrent with the Nazis having done a shit ton of experiments on humans, which are pretty inhumane. Yeah. And we needed to do that to understand, but not needed. But we have to find out something.
I'm like if the adults consenting. I'm all for
I doubt they were.
No. I don't think they were either. But that's what I'm saying. It's like that's why I don't agree with experimenting on kids because they don't really have the wherewithal to make the call themselves. Or like what they did with
cognitively not there people.
Tuskegee Airmen. Like that was fucked up.
Tuskegee experiment is one of those
pretty
terrible
heinous.
ones. Yeah,
it's pretty heinous.
Yeah. I mean, one can claim that they brought the prostitutes knowingly that they had syphilis. The prisoner should have known to not do that.
Yeah.
However, Obama's apologized for that, well deservedly so. Now we don't need to go on.
No. I'm not. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we'll get to those in the future. I want to ask you something though.
What's up?
Do you think?
No.
We want to believe.
It's okay. So for me, it's not a. It's not like a belief. I just can't disprove it.
No. I understand what you're saying.
Wait, are you talking about the general population?
No, I'm asking. Yeah, general population. Like it's almost a philosophical.
Yeah, I think the general population wants to believe that there's something
out there. Yeah. What about Christians? Do you think because that would kind of like become an issue for that worldview? Which is kind of odd because most people that claim to be abducted are Christians. which is weird.
I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Isn't it weird? No, the only reason I bring this up is not to obviously knock on anybody, but or that theology. I have a lot of respect for Christians. My point is, belief systems are a huge thing for humans. We generally want to believe in something bigger than us.
Yeah.
The idea that the entire universe is like such a huge waste of space. I think it kind of bothers us now. One can, even scientifically, we can.
Well, I mean, I think it bothers us now is because we're kind of like actively trying to travel it now. Like before, we weren't really, like when we were doing the initial stuff, like going to the moon and stuff. We weren't really trying to travel there necessarily. We were just trying to go there to prove that we could go there.
Yeah.
Now, like with all the stuff that Elon Musk is doing with SpaceX and such, space travel is becoming more and more realistic by the year.
Yeah, it's a response to our existential threat. Like,
so now that door is slowly opening, I think people are now concerning themselves like, well, what if there is another planet out there or another species of not necessarily carbon-based life form, but any other nitrogen-based, whatever. Just some other life form out there.
I get it. I agree with you in some sense because I moved away from, and the only reason I go back to the idea of theology is I think the belief system, that notion of wanting to believe something bigger, is parallel to this one. Yeah. Drake's equation is what generally calculates the likelihood of another life somewhere else in the universe.
It's low.
It's pretty low.
Yeah.
But however, with our increasing understanding of the universe, and the discovery of more Earth-like planets, it's kind of like mind-boggling to think that there couldn't possibly, now intelligent life is a different story. Yeah. But life at all, it's kind of like, it's kind of weird, right? It would be weird. However, but then when you consider the evolution of life on this planet,
it's very weird too.
It's weird, and it had to happen exactly the way it happened. Yeah. Us being in that Goldilocks zone, we literally had, I believe, a less than 10 million years gap to actually either evolve into
or not exist,
or not exist. Yeah. Like, and I'm talking about like early life forms, right?
Yeah, like single cell organisms.
Single cell kind of thing. If from that primordial soup to us, there was just a little window where shit could have gone the wrong way. Yeah. So it's not just that there's water on a planet. It's not that the size of the planet is such conducive.
Mixture of stuff.
It's a huge mixture of things. So a preponderance of things have to happen like precisely the same, precisely perfectly, for us to happen. Now, the thing that you said, which is a different life form, could obviously evolve under different set of circumstances.
Yeah, it's like, because we're carbon-based. There could be nitrogen-based. Any other element-based life form out there.
Graphite, silicon.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Dude, a silicon-based life form, that'd be fucking crazy.
Oh, so cool.
It's like a biological. It's like it's kind of like a biological android, kind of.
The chicks would be hot.
They're biologically manufactured.
No, because silicon, dude. All right, let me ask you this. Neil deGrasse Tyson makes a great point about the cognition capacity between us and primates. Yeah. And it's just a 0.5 or whatever percent DNA difference.
But that makes a huge difference.
It's a difference between civilization as we know it and then fucking poking your asshole with your thumb in a cage. Yeah. That's the difference, right? Yeah. And then he extrapolates that kind of, imagine a civilization that is like 5% more. 5% would be like, for us, unintelligible. Like we cannot even comprehend what the fuck is happening there. So the idea is, if you could even sort of imagine that kind of life form, would they ever bother themselves with us?
No, I don't think they would really. Yeah. Like there's an episode of South Park, right? Mm-hmm. This just makes me think of like the world. There's an advanced alien species, and Earth is it's a sitcom.
Okay.
To them.
Like for their entertainment.
So like they're watching. They watch our lives. Like it's like there's like 1 million channels based off Earth TV.
Yeah.
And Earth is getting low ratings, and then they're about to cancel Earth, which means they're going to destroy the planet.
Yeah.
And then the kids from South Park go up there and convince them not to cancel the show.
Yeah.
It's just like what if that was?
That's not entirely out of the realm of possibilities.
Yeah, I know. So it's just what if that's what we were, right?
Yeah.
And then every now and then they're just like those of the things that were flying by. They're teenagers doing pranks.
What if we were a simulation inside a dumb alien kid's garage that he just did for 4th grade experiment and it just left us?
Yeah, we're just sitting in his garage.
He's just forgotten about us.
We're like sea monkeys.
Like they were told, little babies.
Yeah.
So this is how they talk. They're baby aliens, right?
Yeah.
For your homework, we want you. Yeah. Bloop, bloop. Yeah, that's alien for you. I'm gonna put that. For your homework, we want you to synthesize a fully mature universe, self-sustaining. Let's give it like 13 billion years.
Yeah. And this is a elementary school science project.
And then
it's for the science fair.
And and this is the project that did not cut it.
Yeah, we failed. we got an F on this project.
We joke about this, but
I mean,
within the realm of possibilities, this is not entirely out of the question.
No.
Yeah. But also this comes up to solipsism and the whole meaning of the universe itself.
Yeah.
In any case, but which brings me to the point that probably that kind of advanced civilization would not really bother itself with us.
No, I don't think they really would, man. Like, to be honest with you, like if they were that advanced, what would they gain with interacting with us, other than being benevolent and trying to share technology, right?
Yeah.
But if they're so far beyond us, then they probably were like like one of those towns you drive by and you just don't want to stop.
Fly over.
Yeah, you're just like.
Yep. This is like, I'm not getting McDonald's from here.
Yeah, I'm not going. I'm going to get mugged.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
Detroit. Oh, God. This is why that project failed for that alien kid.
Yeah.
Okay, so
because of me.
What about the point that more sightings started happening after we did the first atomic contest?
A lot of things can be said to this because people with nothing going on in their lives will always do this. It's like every time there's a missing kid or something like that, and they're like, there's a reward, and people come forward with false information trying to. And sometimes they're not wanting the reward, they just want the attention.
Where are you going with this?
I'm just saying, like, people will say that they saw something.
Okay.
Without having, just because they want to be involved.
I get you.
It's like people when there's someone on the street who's a news reporter, there's a crash, and then some fucking Joe nobody jumps on the camera.
So you're trying to explain for the uptick in the amount.
Yeah, I'm saying it's a possibility.
It is a possibility, definitely. I mean, definitely.
I think it's more likely than not.
Well, the idea is when they classify civilizations. I think step 1, class A, class B, class C. I think we're like down there still like Neanderthals, essentially, whatever. Yeah. But the thing is, the first transformation to the next level is the ability to annihilate yourself, which is the grit filter.
I cannot do that, dude.
So that's about the grit filter, right? The grit filter is you either become technologically advanced to the point where you have emotionally mature as well. You're as globally, like as a society. To not use that to use that technology to end yourself, AI, or nukes, or and then if you go past that, then it is likely that you're going to flourish like to beyond whatever. There's no end in sight. You start colonizing other galaxies, you become multiplanetary species. It just the end is and the potential is endless, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem that we're gonna do that if we have nukes. So the idea is, we start having nukes. They're like, ooh, someone out there in the Milky Way right between that sun and just next to Jupiter,
Yeah.
is starting to fuck with something we did about 300 billion years ago, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, and
maybe they took notes.
And this
right?
this goes like deep into stuff, but like the hieroglyphs.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are kind of really weird, like the Egyptian hieroglyphs, because well, some of them I saw some like about a year ago, where someone was going with it. Goes, that looks like a cell phone.
Yeah,
it was like, but it was like
the lady with the thing, yeah.
And it's just
the thing that looks like Wi-Fi signal.
Well, I mean, that can be explained in other ways, but I mean, there are stuff that if you look at them, it looks like more modern things than than that they would have had access to. Yeah, and it's just there's so many things like constructions of things that just don't seem physically possible for the time period. Yeah, because there was no crane system. They didn't have any pulley systems or anything like that they could utilize to lift massively heavy objects. No matter how much manpower you have physically, it's just like there's no way you're getting that. That 3-ton fucking rock.
Oh, it's more than that. Yeah, Graham Hancock's series on Netflix, Ancient Civilization, is pretty compelling in some regards. But there has been, and I have to mention this, strong pushback from the mainstream archaeology academics in regards to even asking Netflix to downgrade the show to fiction instead of a documentary.
And I mean, I can see why they would want to do that, because to them that's more grounded in fantasy than reality, right? Yeah,
I mean, Graham Hancock does strike some facts. Now it's going to be interesting because he's going to have a mainstream archaeologist debate him on Joe Rogan pretty soon.
Oh, dude, that's going to be awesome.
That's going to be awesome. And then it's once and for all. Then we'll see if Graham Hancock's positions kind of hold up against.
Joe, man, where's our invite? Where's our invite, Joe? I tweeted at you like a month ago.
Oh God!
Before we got our blue check mark, so you didn't even know who the hell we were, and you still don't know who the hell we are. But at me, Joe. Come on, man.
Yeah, I him, Joe, not me. I'm not an ex.
At him, dude. At both of us, and we'll come on your show.
I want to tell you a joke that I heard growing up.
Okay.
Just bear with me. So they say an American, an Ethiopian, and I guess a guy from some European country show up. They're archaeologists, right? They started having this summit for archaeologists and the Ethiopian guy. So they're making fun of our lack of civilization, like technology in our country. Yeah, is what they're doing. Yeah. So they're like, so we dug down. This is the American speaking. Yeah. And we found around a certain feet, we found like cables, whatever. Yeah. This shows that definitely our ancestors kind of used like telephone lines. Yeah. And the Europeans hit something to the similar effect. They found something. Ethiopian is like, we dug and dug and dug. There was nothing. That means they used mobile phones.
Nah, dude, you used
we had Wi-Fi.
No, bro, you used the tin cans on strings.
Well, they didn't even find strings, bro. There was nothing, no cans, nothing. So yeah. Anyways, this is to say that you can bend the facts to suit your narrative.
Oh, yeah, dude, that's not.
So final call. Tell me, did aliens crash?
I don't think so.
On the night of July 2nd, 1947.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. Unless something
gun
comes
to
out.
Your head. Tell me yes or no.
No. But I will recant my no if we get evidence that there is.
Got it.
Until then, I mean, because we haven't seen anything. I mean, there's compelling evidence to that there may have been something, but I mean, a crash. I don't think so. It just seems like anybody who was able to travel to our planet, especially then, that was like fucking 80 years ago. Like the amount that we've jumped in technology, especially now, they've probably jumped farther advanced in technology than us.
I would imagine so.
Because they were already further ahead. So it's just like, if they were that far ahead then and they crashed here, I mean, the likelihood that they're going to continue to keep crashing, even if that was like it's gonna go down, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, look at what we've developed in our short amount of time to stop crashes, right? We have motion detectors on vehicles now.
For sure. Yeah.
That alarm you. They're like, hey, too close. So, and we got cameras everywhere. So it's just like
you're kind of stuck on them crashing, aren't you? Like,
well, I mean, cause it's
why
just
the
so.
fuck do they? These are lame ass aliens.
It's so fucking improbable, man.
I agree.
It's
I
so
agree.
improbable like that they would do that.
Yeah.
But
The fact that most of the evidence for this entire conspiracy comes from eyewitnesses is the weakest link for me.
That is also another weak thing.
Extremely
like when we
weak.
get more hard evidence on it, I mean, it does make it more compelling now that the Pentagon has made a branch for it.
Yeah.
And that more people are. There was a fucking hearing about it.
Yeah. There's been multiple.
But I mean, recently.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It is compelling.
Mm.
And you know what? Maybe we'll reach this topic again when we get more evidence or something. We can come back and do a follow up.
For sure. The mortician statement is what I consider to be the strongest so far.
Really?
For me.
That seems the most sketchiest, to be honest with you.
I mean, we can call on the guy's character.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Well, I'm not character out of it, right?
So this is me among the eyewitness thing. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, out of all the eyewitness.
What gave the whole thing some semblance of being truthful is the fact that 6 days later, the USAF comes out and says they did recover the flying disc.
Yeah.
That one was sketchy. Like, why would you do that?
Who came forward first? Was it the USA?
Yes,
Air Force.
Yes.
Their stuff was publicly announced first.
The U.S. Air
and then
Forces.
he came out afterwards saying that.
Who?
The mortician.
The mortician. Yeah. Afterwards.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. That
way after.
That's credibility down, right?
Yeah, for sure. That's why 2 dozen years after. That happened in 47. This is after in the 1970s, right?
No. He had time to write the story.
And then he also is known to have embellish his stories a little bit. That's it.
Yeah.
Fuck that mortician.
Yeah, you fucked up. Like, well, if he had said this stuff, if he had reported immediately,
yeah,
and then the 6 days later, then I'd be like, oh, well, maybe.
If he had contemporaneous notes, are you saying like a Mike Pence had?
Yeah.
Trump.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying, but the Air Force making that snafu is what gave the whole thing some
yes, absolutely. Yeah. But it might have not been a snafu.
Also, does the government fuck up all the time?
Yes, absolutely.
Does the government make stupid errors?
The government's comprised of people. And the people fuck up.
Yeah. It might have been a prank for all we know. Somebody just kind of wrote the wrong thing and some old bureaucrat just came out and read it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
My biggest thing against the whole alien thing is this. All right? Everybody on fucking planet Earth has a smartphone.
Yeah.
Okay?
No.
All it takes is one motherfucker. Have we not seen every iteration, every edge case of everything on planet Earth? Have we not seen people getting shot? Have we not seen?
Yeah.
Have we not seen a hummingbird flop its wings?
The only place on the Earth right now that is completely unexplored is the bottom of the ocean.
There's the Mariana Trench, which is the deepest point we have explored, but obviously the vast majority of the ocean has not been explored. I mean, I understand that, but what I'm saying is the idea of nobody getting
any
good footage of something,
especially with our high quality cameras.
That's what I'm saying. A smartphone in everybody's hands.
This Pixel A dude has one of the best fucking cameras.
Yeah, your phone.
Ever.
Yeah. Have you caught any alien?
The Pixel 6A.
Have you caught any footage of an alien civilization?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, dude. I don't even catch any footage of the things I normally see because I don't take pictures.
Yeah.
Except for that picture of balls.
And also, it's human nature to something that we don't sufficiently understand is always alien to us, which is why UFO. It is not. It's an identified flying object.
Yeah.
Something unidentified does not mean it's alien. Yeah. It's unidentified. Yeah, it means you don't know what it is.
Yeah, because I was like around 2013, we got news of the U-2, right? Like when they released.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was an experimental, and they did crash.
Yeah.
Several of them did. So it's like the U-2.
Oh, the plane. Yeah.
Several of them crashed because they were test. They were test crashes.
Yeah.
There was another one too. I just can't remember the name of it. there's another test.
Oh, there's
craft.
so many.
When I'm talking about that was manufactured around
Yeah.
the time that they were working on.
Yeah.
They were working on 2. The U-2 was one of them, and there was another one. I can't remember the name of it. I didn't write it down.
There is a footage of Neil Armstrong practicing
Yeah.
their descent on the lunar module.
Yeah.
They invented the thing that he was flying
Yeah.
because they wanted to counteract the Earth's gravity,
Yeah.
but it couldn't be a propeller on top because of
Yeah.
the downforce.
Yeah.
They needed to mimic the zero gravity on the moon as much as possible. So they invented a flying thing.
Yeah.
If you saw for the first time,
Oh yeah, you'd think there's a UFO.
so I imagine Bob Lazar with his friends kind of creeping
Yeah.
up on that area, and they see some. All you need is just a good
Yeah.
hazmat suit because they needed fire protection
Yeah.
for the thing, and
like a
him
spaceman.
flying something that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
That's a UFO right there.
Yeah. That's
For
an
you,
alien.
it's a
Look at him.
UFO.
Yeah.
For the people that made it, it's
Yeah.
called the chopper.
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
they called it. So it's something that we don't sufficiently understand usually. So I would always err on the side of skepticism when it comes to these kind of claims.
Yeah.
So the Roswell for me is just because of the distance, the
Yeah.
time that between then and now.
Yeah.
I'm always going to consider it as an edge mystery. Something might have happened.
Yeah. I'll be generous and give it 5% probable.
All right. I'm not going to put a number just on it just yet, but it's something to that effect. I think I understand the vibe.
Well,
that
I
you're
mean,
going with.
it was lower prior
Yeah.
to the stuff that was just going
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah,
Now
yeah.
it makes me.
Oh shit!
It
So it
bumped
went
it
up for
up.
you.
Yeah, it did go up for me.
Yeah.
Because when the government gets involved in it,
Yeah.
right, man, that gives them slightly more credibility to me because
Uh-huh.
that means it's a concern,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So like if if the fucking Pentagon made a branch of Taco Bell, I'd be like, well, what the fuck's going on with Taco Bell?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah. So, but I want to finish with an accounting given by Glenn Dennis, the mortician.
Yeah.
All right.
That's let's go with his fairy tale.
This is for his drama, okay? So he's an important figure in the Roswell conspiracy. So I want to say what he said. So according to Glenn Dennis,
important.
yeah, he received an unusual late-night phone call from the Roswell Army Field RAF on the evening of July 5th, 1947. So this is 3 days after the crash.
Yeah.
The caller was a nurse whom he knew, and she sounded distressed. She asked if Dennis could supply small, hermetically sealed caskets, and also inquired about how to preserve bodies that had been exposed to the elements for an extended period.
Did we have hermetically sealed caskets back then?
We did, yeah.
Did we?
Yeah. On July 6, 1947, Glenn Davis visited the RAF hospital under pretense because he suspected something has happened.
Yeah.
He actually went to the grounds. He went to
Well,
the...
he had to deliver the hermetically sealed caskets.
don't know.
Of course.
I don't know if that was the transaction then, but this is what happened. So he, under the pretense of delivering an ambulance to the
Dude,
base.
he's the original Uber Eats. He delivered those fucking
While there, he claimed to have seen military personnel
Yeah.
guarding the entrance to the hospital's morgue, and he was denied entry.
Yeah.
Inside the building, he encountered a nurse whom he knew, and she allegedly gave him...
He was just denied entry. How do you say inside the building?
No, inside the general building. So that's the building is a bigger building. There's a morgue in there, and that was what he said were personnel guarding the door. And I guess he's making the distinction that it usually doesn't need to be the case kind of thing.
Gotcha.
And inside the building, he encountered a nurse whom he knew, and she allegedly gave him a brief and unsettling glimpse of strange debris and alien bodies. So he actually said,
dude,
4 days after the crash, on July 6th, he went onto that thing and he saw the bodies. Dennis recounted that the nurse described the bodies as small, with large heads, almond-shaped eyes, and lacking ears, noses, or mouths. She also claimed that they were handling the bodies as part of an alien autopsy. These claims fueled the conspiracy theory surrounding the Roswell incidents and have been cited as the evidence of a government cover-up involving extraterrestrials.
I'm gonna tell you something right now, man.
Yeah.
If you saw something the government did not want you to see, which I'm pretty sure if that was there,
you get popped.
Your ass would have been disappeared. Like he wouldn't have been able.
You'd have been suicided.
For one, he was on a top secret military base.
Why do you look taller than
that didn't exist? Because the chair's higher.
Yeah.
There you go. You feel better?
Go ahead. Yeah.
You feel better?
My level.
Big man. So
Yeah.
it's already, we didn't know about it. It wasn't
Yeah.
like official that it
Mhm.
was a top secret military base.
Yeah.
So you're going to a top secret military base,
Yeah.
and you get a glimpse of something you're probably not supposed to see.
Yeah.
Your ass ain't leaving, brother.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
either imprisoned forever,
Yeah.
or you're just dead because they don't want to
You
deal
get
with you.
suicided.
So yeah, that's
It's peculiar.
yeah.
That
I'm
is
not gonna. That's not good enough.
You don't buy it, Glenn.
No, not at all. Just
You
not-
hate this mortician. You don't like him at all.
No, well, I mean, that lacks credibility, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, my son corroborated it. The guy
Yeah.
who wasn't there.
Yeah. The guy that saw the nurse that I knew who was
Yeah.
like, I saw the nurse.
Yeah, fuck that, man. It's like my dad works at Nintendo. Kinda shit.
Well, yeah, there's that. If you if you believe Chris over the mortician,
Yeah,
that guy.
no, I don't believe the
Cap.
the mortician at all, man.
Yeah. I get it. No, I was not giving any heft. It's just for the drama, I think.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, no, yeah. I mean,
Dismiss.
it's a nice story,
Yeah.
but like, if realistically,
Yeah.
if you see something the government doesn't want, of course they're not gonna want you spreading that around.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna be offed.
There's a famous memorial, not a memorial, but like a landmarker
Mhm.
where this happened. If somebody were to make that famous drive along the Nevada desert,
Lauren wants to go.
yeah, me too. I definitely want to.
Yeah, we need to do like a family road trip. Or
Oh, that would be
something.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
To go and take a picture there and just
And we'll do
buy
a-
some
We'll do a
memorabilia.
live podcast.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah. Yeah,
we'll
we
do a
just stand there.
live
Do you
podcast
feel
in
the
Roswell.
aliens?
Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel
Just
the
want to get
aliens.
probed, don't you?
Yeah, it's my dream. It's my dream, brother.
I like on the movie when Paul's like, "What the fuck is with this thing, guys? Like, what you think we'll learn something from your farts, motherfucker?" Yeah, that's the pushback.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, this is gonna be a new segment from now on. We're gonna
Yeah.
do stuff like this.
What do you want to do next?
We'll discuss it off camera. Man. We don't
Alright.
want. We want to keep the suspense.
All right. That was the barely late night.
Barely late at night.
Barely late at night segment
Yeah.
for the first time.
Yeah,
in
barely
the
late at
books.
night.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So how many franchises are now? The catalog is getting bigger.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We gotta diversify our portfolio, brother.
So there is BAP regular.
Yeah. It's just there's barely a podcast, which is cultural and politics.
Uh-huh.
There's gonna
We'll
be
do one of
barely-
these.
Yeah, there's gonna be barely late at night, which is gonna be conspiracy theories and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
It might not be this long all the
It's
time.
gonna be like
Yeah.
Then there's gonna be barely live, which is when we go do live podcasts.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
And the barely edible.
and barely food.
No, barely edible is or it could be barely delicious kind of thing. That'll be the
Yeah.
food thing,
Yeah.
which I'm super
Yeah,
excited
we'll
to do.
spitball some ideas.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
for it.
That one is still in the shop.
Yeah.
We'll work.
Yeah, we got a couple of those still in the shop, but yeah, eventually we're gonna do.
And
bunch
there's
of more
barely
stuff.
shorts.
Yeah,
which
barely
is-
shorts. Yeah.
Yeah. that's good.
We
Which will be
got
part of
one
the regular, but we'll clip that
Yeah,
and make it
they're
into
just gonna be clip stuff. It
Yeah.
can be anything. It could be
yes, sir.
hot takes or whatever.
I love it, man. This was so much fun.
Yeah, it is. It was interesting researching
so-
this.
Roswell.
Yeah, I'm gonna give
Thumbs down for that one.
It's 5%. It's not a passing grade. We're not even an F here, man. We're
Yeah.
failing.
Fun to talk about, but not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe we
proud
can
of it.
talk about a cryptid or something next time.
yeah.
That'll be interesting.
Yes, sir. All right.
All right. Hit us up on Twitter at a barely podcast. Follow us on there. This one's gonna be our first video one, so you can check it out on YouTube and Rumble if you want to see Teddy's beautiful face. And just hit us up next week.
I completely forgot about the camera, by the way.
Oh yeah. And this weekend we're gonna have another one up. It's gonna be barely live. We're gonna be doing Comic-Con this weekend. So if you're at the Bell County Comic-Con, come and hit us up and see us live. It'll be fun.
Sounds good, my brother. This was fun.
Oh, and also check out
Let's
our
do more of that.
sponsor, Coffee Brand Coffee.
Oh yeah.
Link's gonna be in the description, or you can go to the website coffeebrandcoffee.com and use promo code BARELY BARELY at checkout to save 5% on your order.
You'll be saving. Oh, that's my beautiful daughter.
Yeah.
I hope the mics picked that up. She was going, yay.
Yeah, she's a cutie.
All right, brother. This was
All
fun.
right.
Thank you for coming in.
All right, we'll see y'all next week.
Awesome.